He was just a 28-year-old man on a casual holiday, healthy, smiling, ordinary Lars Mittunk, a German man traveling with friends to Bulgaria's sunny coast in the summer of 2014. The kind of trip thousands of Europeans take every year, a simple escape from routine. But what began as a laid-back vacation would end in one of the most disturbing, unexplained disappearances ever caught on camera, a case that still haunts the internet and investigators alike. Because what happened to Lars was not just a vanishing, it was a descent into visible madness, caught moment by moment, breath by breath, until he disappeared into nothingness, and no one has ever seen him again. He had arrived in Varna with friends, laughing, drinking, relaxing on the beach, a normal guy with a job, a girlfriend, a future. But everything started to unravel after a minor bar fight with some other German tourists over football team loyalty. Just a scuffle, barely anything but. Lars ended up with a ruptured eardrum and was advised by a doctor not to fly until it healed. So when his friends returned home, he stayed back in Varna alone for a few more days, planning to take a later flight, and that's when things turned strange. So strange it feels almost cursed. Lars checked into a cheap hotel near the airport, and shortly after began acting paranoid, texting his mother bizarre, cryptic messages. "Please cancel my credit cards. I'm being followed. I don't feel safe." His behavior grew increasingly erratic. He was seen pacing, hiding in the hotel, refusing to eat, whispering that men were trying to kill him. Even though no one could see them, he called his mother again in a trembling voice, begging her not to talk too much on the phone because they might be listening. And at one point he vanished from the hotel during the night, only to return hours later, saying he had been hiding in the woods to escape whoever was chasing him. None of it made sense. He wasn't a drug user, had no history of mental illness, and his mother insisted he'd never shown anything like this before. But whatever he thought was happening, it was real to him, real enough that he feared for his life. Then came the final, terrifying footage that turned this case into one of the internet's most discussed modern mysteries. On July 8, 2014, Lars visited a local airport doctor to get clearance to fly home. And security footage shows him walking in normally, but within minutes of entering the doctor's office, he suddenly bolts out of the airport terminal, sprinting full speed, leaving all his belongings behind: passport, wallet, luggage, phone, everything. He is seen running through the airport parking lot, through a small gate, and then into the dense trees beyond. He never came back. He never called again. He never used his bank cards, his phone, or appeared on any CCTV anywhere. He had simply disappeared. Some claim he had a rare psychiatric episode, a sudden onset of paranoid schizophrenia triggered by the head injury or stress, but even seasoned doctors said that kind of full-blown psychotic break would be incredibly rare, especially with such calculated, physical behavior. Others believe he may have encountered something or someone truly threatening, maybe even criminal. There are rumors of organ trafficking, Eastern European crime rings, or military secrets. Lars had told the doctor someone was coming to get him, and the moment a worker entered the clinic to check on the room, Lars freaked out and ran. It's as if he saw something in that moment no one else could see. There's a theory that he may have been drugged or poisoned, and some armchair investigators even suggest a form of mind control or military testing. Since the area around Varna has Cold War era facilities still in operation, but no proof of any of it has ever surfaced, just the footage of a healthy young man running for his life into nothingness. His mother has spent years begging for answers, holding press conferences, chasing leads from psychics to fishermen, clinging to every blurry photo or vague sighting, hoping one of them might be Lars, but none ever are. His face haunts missing persons posters across Europe, frozen in time, wide-eyed, alert, terrified, as if he knew, in those final seconds, that no one could save him. And what makes the story even more disturbing is that there is no clear ending, no resolution, no body, no crime scene, just that final image of him sprinting into the trees, leaving everything behind, like a man who had finally realized that whatever was chasing him wasn't of this world, or worse, that it wasn't. The more you watch that footage, the more unsettling it becomes, because his fear looks real, primal, beyond acting, and the silence that follows his disappearance is louder than any scream. How could a man disappear in a city in daylight, with cameras all around? How could no one have seen him emerge from the trees, or find even a shoe, a scrap of clothing, a fingerprint? Some believe he's still alive, hiding, forced underground, but others are certain he's gone, either by his own mind or something else. And what haunts people most about the case of Lars Mittank is not just the mystery, but the human fragility it reveals, that you can be healthy, smart, safe, and still, in one moment, lose your grip on reality and vanish, swallowed by fear that no one else understands. Maybe Lars was mentally unwell, maybe he was targeted, maybe he simply saw something none of us were meant to see, but whatever the truth is, it's out there in those woods, buried with his final footprints. And whatever chased him that day, whether in his head or in the shadows, it hasn't stopped following us.